11 has arrived. Roll out the red carpet, baby, because we got a whole lot of teams that are absolutely shining right now. Cowboys take on the swagalicious Chiefs. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers must be feeling pretty good about ruining Russell Wilson's Sunday last week. They take on the Vikings, and will Hard Knocks pick up a Colts win against the Bills this week?
Hands off to Taylor right side, lowers his shoulder, he's down to the 2-yard line, and he's in there! Touchdown! Jonathan Taylor!
Plus, we got Cynthia's player projections, Greg's sneaky survivor pick, and Hawk and I are going to argue about which AFC North team is more heartbreaking. Can't wait. Game Day View presented by Mercedes EQ starts right now. Hello, welcome to our show, Game Day View, presented by Mercedes EQ. I am Rachel Banana. I say that wrong in some way every single week. Rachel Banana, Hawk, Cynthia Freeland, Greg Rosenthal. You're breaking out the glasses today.
Oh, yeah.
Smart.
Wow.
I'm feeling like a new man. Got a booster shot this week. I'm flying.
Oh, okie dokie. Well, we're going to break down all of the games in Week 11. Week 11, can we believe that it's Week 11? Like, time is flying.
It is flying. It's wild. It's going really fast.
It's going really fast.
So fast.
We're going to break down all the games, and we're also going to figure out who is the Kim K and Pete Davidson of the NFL. Any first ones? It's confirmed. It's a real thing now.
Is it a real thing?
It's a real thing.
This is news to me.
We're actually not going to talk about that, but maybe it'll come up again. All right, first game that we're going to talk about, word of the day in this one is swagger, and both teams seem to have it back. Will Mahomes and the Chiefs continue to look like their old selves against this hot-to-trot Cowboys squad. Casey, a 2.5-point favorite. Hawk, what do you like?
Oh, talk about hot to trot. How about I got a prediction for you. I'm going with the Chiefs to win 33-30 in overtime.
Ooh.
We haven't had an overtime.
Overtime alert.
A first.
Yeah, it's going to be fire today. And what I'm looking at is Patrick Mahomes, right? This Chiefs offense, yes, we've seen them not know which way is up at times. But the thing we forget about is that Patrick Mahomes is one of the most talented quarterbacks we've ever seen at handling the rush or handling the blitz. He got a lot of momentum last week. He had a great game, although I don't know why the Raiders decided against using the same blueprint that has worked for every other team against the Chiefs, but whatever. But still, Patrick Mahomes, I think this is a week he puts it together again, and we kind of take a deep sigh and say, oh, wow, we just watched him handle DeMarcus Ware and Micah Parsons. Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, he is.
I'm willing to give you like 2 wins in our standings if they go to overtime.
Right.
I'm willing to give that to you.
Okay,
Yes,
are we all
mark that
donating?
down.
Yeah, I'm with
Mark
that.
that
But
down.
also
Donating.
2 losses
If they don't.
If they don't, okay, yeah, actually, I'll buy
It's
it.
okay. I'm saying
out.
just 1 loss, but I'll give you 2 wins if that.
Okay,
If
I'm
that
with
overtime
it. I'm
You're a
production.
lot better
with it as
person
well.
than
We're
Greg.
all in.
Well, that's,
Six
that
wins
goes without
added to your
saying.
total.
Okay, so I too have a 3-point win, but my score is a little bit lower. I have 29-26. Why? Because we've seen the Chiefs pass rush come to life over these past few games. And guess what? As of right now, left tackle Tyron Smith, do you know if he's playing? Nope. Do I know if he's playing?
Practiced. He's questionably practiced. Sounds
Do you,
decent.
do you know
I'm
if he's playing?
questionable, Greg.
That cue
We're
is a
all
really big
questionable,
deal when it
Greg.
comes to both. All of the things. Look at that. Look at those pass. Look at those pass rushers. Look, Chris Jones is back in his natural spot. So let's be honest. I think this is the big key to this one is the Chiefs defense having the uptick in production.
Wow.
I like we're on the same page.
I don't like when I'm different than you two, but I'm still loving the Cowboys this week. I feel good about it, too. I have them winning by a field goal. Even without Amari Cooper, I look at this team and how aggressive they are on 4th down, and that gives me a lot of confidence. The way Kellen Moore talks about how they call 3rd down plays, if it's 3rd and 7, Dak doesn't have to worry about getting
Guess
first
where
down.
their analytics person went to school?
Where you went to school.
With me. He was my classmate.
College.
See, you got the
Grad
numbers,
school.
you got the talent.
Yeah.
Andy Reid not as aggressive on 4th down, and everyone's like, oh, the Chiefs are back. Now they could be one of the best offenses in the league. What, like the Cowboys? Like, no, you're not going to be as good as this Cowboys offense just because you had one good game.
I agree with you. I'm wearing
Yes.
Cowboys as well over the Chiefs. I think of it as a relationship, okay? One of these teams, the Cowboys, has been consistent. They've been there for me. I trust them. Last weekend, they got me a promise ring, okay? And then the other team, the Chiefs, they have totally not been looking like themselves. Are they cheating on me? I don't know. I'm worried about it. Last week, they also got me a promise ring. I'm not saying yes to the Chiefs. I'm saying yes to the Cowboys. They are consistent. They are the team that I trust and that I love and that I'm going to be with for the rest of my life.
Right.
So I'm
I
going
feel like that pick told us more
what are
about
the Browns
you
saying?
than the
The
Chiefs.
Browns
We'll talk about that at another time, okay? I'm on the outs with the Browns right now, okay? I'm not. I love them. All right, Big Ben has been preparing virtually this week since he is still out with COVID. They take on the Chargers, who got back to their losing ways against the Vikings last weekend in close fashion. Cynthia, what do you like here?
So I have a nice Chargers win, 26-19. The score did adjust because there are a slew of Steelers defenders who have now appeared on the injury report. So it was a closer situation, and now it's a much bigger situation. But I still want to talk about Najee Harris because he's doing an excellent job. Basically has all of the volume. I think he had something like 29 touches last week against a team that shall not be named in a situation that also should not be remembered. And this Chargers defense does give up the most rushing yards for any team in the National Football League. So it's going to be an opportunity for Najee to still show us how important he is here.
I like that.
I like that I can use your point to make my pick, which is a thread the needle pick. I think the Steelers keep it close. Even without T.J. Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Joe Hayden, I think it ends up being a close game because the Chargers haven't been aggressive enough on offense. They've turned Justin Herbert boring. Like, this guy's like the most exciting player in the league to me, him and Patrick Mahomes. And yet,
so he's exciting, but it's
a dink and dunk offense right now. He is 32nd out of 37 quarterbacks in terms of average depth of target. And yet, when he throws the ball deep, he's number 2 in the league in passer rating. So let's throw it deep a little more. Until I see that happen, I'm just not going to believe it's going to happen, though.
Guess where the Chargers assistant head coach went to grad school?
Okay, so is this becoming a thing? So it's like, okay, we get it. It's like Hawk played in the league. Cynthia went to school with everyone.
I haven't paid for my
I'm just a
degree yet.
doofus.
I got to talk
I
about
was thinking that too.
All
right, so
it's fine.
I'm with them. I got the Chargers winning. I have them winning a little bit bigger. I have 35-23, and typically I would have it closer, and I would also give an edge to the Steelers defense, but you're right, they're banged up. You said no Watt, no Fitzpatrick, no Hayden. Those are their defensive leaders and their defensive playmakers, and this is a defense that struggled against a winless offense in the Detroit Lions a week ago. Now you're not going to be able to put pressure on Justin Herbert. If you don't put pressure on him, he will dice you up deep, and you don't have the players on the back end to stop players like Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. So I got the Chargers winning big.
I'm going Chargers as well, and I don't really care who is starting for quarterback under the Steelers because think about it. If Big Ben does start, he has been out this whole week. He is actually experiencing COVID symptoms, unlike, Aaron Rodgers seemed to be asymptomatic. We don't know, but, he was looking more like himself. I just don't trust Big Ben in this situation. And also, I keep on remembering, of course I keep on remembering because I love the AFC North. The Steelers went 11-0 last year and then completely fell apart down the stretch, and I'm having that in the back of my mind because I'm hoping.
This feels like wishful thinking.
Again, well, you know what? I'm going to put that out into the world.
You know what else you should put out there?
Yeah.
Meme alert.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There it is.
Also that.
Boom.
We're on the same page.
What?
Okay. Moving on. Packers held Russell Wilson to a big fat goose egg last weekend. Can they do the same against Kirk Cousins, who has thrown 6 tutties in the last 2 games? Pack by 1.5 up in Lambeau. Greg, what do you like?
I have the Packers winning. I have the Packers covering. What do the Packers got to do to get a little respect with these point spreads here? How about A.J. Dillon running the ball all over the Vikings? Maybe that'll get some respect. Mike Zimmer and this defensive staff on Minnesota have been great shutting down Aaron Rodgers over the years. But you know what helps? Just handing the ball off to one of the biggest, baddest, meanest running backs I have ever seen. Remember how people got on Brian Gutekunst for drafting A.J. Dillon from
Boston College, my
where
undergrad.
Cynthia went to college. She probably knows him and everything.
What goes on?
Minnesota's way worse defending the run than they are against the pass. So I think the Packers are built to win this game.
All right, I got the Packers winning here. I got them winning 26-24 in this one. And the key for the Packers will be stopping Dalvin Cook. Okay, now look, the Packers have something that I've never seen Green Bay have over the recent years, and that's a good defense.
Good defense.
And they're playing really, really well. They are very, very good. If there was a weakness, it would be the Packers' run defense, but it's not that bad. It's 13th. On the other side of the ball is Dalvin Cook, who has looked like Dalvin Cook over the last 4 weeks after a slow start. He's averaging over 100 scrimmage yards per game, so that they can take him away. I love the Packers' chance of winning, relying on Kirk Cousins' arm to be the thing that beats them.
I like it. Well, I have a 4-point win just like Greg. 26-22 is my score. And I want to talk about this Packers defense again. I'm going to say I don't like that Rashawn Gary got hurt. That is not great for them. But they need to get a little bit of credit for what they have been able to do. And that's bring pressure without necessarily using the blitz. That's really advantageous, especially with Jair Alexander being out of the lineup, because then you can drop back into coverage and defend any sort of pass. So Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, not as good of an opportunity to score some points in this one because of how well the front's been playing.
All right, I have the Packers 24-21. I don't feel.
Change your pick.
Well, my whole
Change your pick.
Okay,
Change your pick.
my whole thinking is that I've been on the Vikings for the past few weeks, and I still think they've had so many close losses. They could be undefeated. They finally got a win. They could be
Green Bay's
really
banged
high
up
on
this week.
Green
I want to
Bay's
love
banged
Bone.
up.
Let's switch that pick.
Let's switch it up.
Lonetta.
Aaron Rodgers has a hurt
Lonetta.
toe. I can't keep up what's going on with the injuries this week. I'm going Vikings here, and I feel kind of saucy about
That's a
it.
good, I
like
don't mind
that
that pick
one.
at all.
All right.
Lone Bone.
Crossing my fingers. What did you call it? We'll talk about it on the commercial break. Next on Game Debut, we've got our favorite individual numbers of the week and proper performances. Stick around.
Can't say that on TV.
Go Vikings! Okay, let's talk individuals in proper performances. Let's take a look at Fanduel's projected lines for passing yards. In Week 11, we got Patty Mahomes, Dak Prescott. We got Brady. Who do you want to talk about here?
We're going off the board here.
What? That's not allowed on this show.
How dare you?
You know what? I really like this Joe Burrow situation, so we're just going to go for it. I love Joe Burrow to have more than 270.5 passing yards against the Raiders. Why? Because Joe Burrow leads the NFL with 7.9 passing yards per attempt on short passes. Those are passes under 10 air yards. That's a next-gen stat, and guess what the Raiders have allowed? A 107.5 passer rating on these passes. Fourth highest in the NFL. They've also had 0 interceptions on short passes, and they have the highest defensive front pressure rate in the NFL. So how do you get rid of pressure? Short passes. Short, quick, get it out.
Should we? It's not too late. We haven't talked about the Raiders yet. We can totally change our picks based off of that.
No, let's just keep it. I don't know math, you know.
You got your glasses on.
Math. Yeah, you
smart
have glasses
today.
on today. I'm going to just listen to whatever you say.
Somebody get me mine.
All right, let's take a look. Greg, do you want to comment on this?
I mean, I'm always all for, my glasses or Joe Burrow? I love me some Joe Burrow. I just was feeling a little threatened by you always wearing the glasses.
Oh,
Okay.
Let's talk a little quarterback props, though. Let's talk Trevor Simeon and do him over 214 yards in this game over the Eagles. Trevor Simeon, little quiet story going on in New Orleans. Kind of been better than Jameis Winston. And I love Jameis Winston, but in these two games, he has been on target, on time, on the money. There's been a lot of drop passes. I think he kind of fits what Sean Payton wants to do with his short passing game more than Jameis Winston did in terms of quick decisions, and the Eagles give up a lot of short passes. Plus, look at that mullet.
I haven't seen
It's a great mullet.
a pregame speech from him or a postgame dance in the locker room. That's
I'm not saying he's the leader, but I'm on Team Trev.
He's focused, though. Maybe.
Where did Trevor Simeon go to school?
Are we going to
What?
do this the whole show?
Oh, goodness.
Lordy.
Like everything's about
me.
Cynthia.
It is. Everything's about me.
Let's take a look at Fanduel's projected lines for receiving yards in Week 11. We got Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs. What do you like?
Well, we're going off the board here as
Oh my
well.
God, 2 times in a row?
Listen,
Wow,
we
she's
have
a
to
maniac.
bring. I'm a maniac. Why? Because DJ Moore. I like him to have more than 55.5 receiving yards against Washington and their very porous secondary. He has 390 receiving yards on downfield passes. Those are 10-plus air yard passes. That's more than twice as many as any other player on the Panthers. And Washington, they've allowed a 122.4 passer rating on these passes. That is the highest in the NFL. I like this opportunity for Cam Newton and him to connect. Throw to your best receiver.
I'm back. Hawk, who do you like?
I like Tyreek Hill. I also like
version.
spaghetti, but that has nothing to do with this. I think Tyreek Hill goes over 86.5 receiving yards because, like I told you earlier, this game's going into overtime. It's going to have extra minutes to get buckets.
Good point.
And they're going to be testing Trevon Diggs so that Patrick Mahomes shows. I'll throw it at anybody. Nobody scares me. There you go.
All right, let's take a look at FanDuel's projected lines for rushing yards in Week 11. Who we got? Show me Nick Chubb at the top of the list. Who do you like here?
He's at the top of the list. That's a good one. Against who's he playing? Oh, yeah, terrible run defense. Got it. I really like that one. But I want to talk about Christian McCaffrey here, who's also off the board. He's going to have more than 65. That is crazy. And a half rushing yards against Washington. I think this is going to be a higher scoring game on the Panther side than you might imagine.
Damn.
He's had more than 65 rush yards in 5 of his 7 games when having 10 or more carries over the past 2 seasons. He has 13 or more carries in each of his 2 games since returning from his hamstring injury. So, in other words, he doesn't even need a lot of carries in order to get that number.
Okay, I am picking something spicy. Some may call it dumb. Jonathan Taylor, under 75 rushing yards.
Okay.
I don't think that's dumb.
Bills. Okay, thank you very much for validating my pick. Bills are number 3 in rushing defense. I feel like on Hard Knocks this week, the Colts were going on and on about how incredible a phenom this guy is. He must be stopped at all costs.
Were you jealous? Like, what? You didn't like him getting all
Why
that
does that make
shine?
you
He is
upset,
pretty
I'm
Rachel?
good.
just saying.
Well,
He's got
you
a
need to
target on his
unpack that
already
with your
targeted
therapist.
back.
They're heavy underdogs, and if they're trailing in this game, you can't run that much. So I like that.
Come on, Bills.
Yeah, so I think, look, Tremaine Edmonds didn't play last game, and A.J. Klein stepped up really well to stop the run. So then you're going to say that carries forward, you get Tremaine Edmonds back. Like, even better, you can play some 44 defense, meaning you have 4 linebackers, really stop the run if that's what they're going for.
There you go.
Really good opportunity.
See what she said. Next on Game Day View, we're picking Saints, Eagles, and Bengals Raiders, plus survivor picks from Cynthia and Greg. Don't go anywhere.
Hurts lines him up again. He's at the 35. He fakes, he rolls, he looks, he is going deep, and it is caught, and it is a touchdown, Devontae Smith.
He took it.
He took it away from the Broncos. Jalen Hurts put the ball in exactly the right spot to give Devontae Smith an opportunity to go up and get it.
Woo-hoo. All right, well, Sean Payton was not too happy after last weekend's loss against the Titans. I think I even saw him stomp his foot. They head to Philly this weekend, who are coming off a great win. How will they do against Philly, Hawk? What do you think?
I got the Eagles winning 31-24. I'm zeroing in on Devontae Smith, man. I mean, he has met expectations, over 20 yards per catch over the last 2 weeks. You know, but so much was talked and said about him coming in. Is he big enough? The reality is he's just a playmaker, and his threat down the field is what opens up Jalen Hurts and his ability to run the football, right? And so I think he has his hands full this week against Marshawn Lattimore, but his ability to separate, his explosiveness, his ability to run routes, I expect him to have a big game.
Strong, too. Like, he might be undersized, but he's strong.
Strong.
He's fun to watch. So I have the Saints with the upset, 23-21. I double, triple, quadruple checked this after Alvin Kamara was ruled out and 2 of their tackles. I was really surprised, and it's really because of their defense. Now, I do want to talk about Jalen Hurts because I was actually shocked by that. Coming off the run, you really need Jalen Hurts to be able to run in order to set up the rest because they clearly haven't figured out exactly which running back in which situation. They kind of have some strange play calling when it comes to that. But Jalen Hurts, his ability on the run to throw and also to actually create yards on the ground himself, like, that's going to be very hard against this defense whose specialty is stopping the run. So when I look to see how it's going to navigate from that, if they can make him really one-dimensional, meaning Jalen Hurts has to throw more than he's comfortable throwing, it's going to be very hard. So it's either like one of those things where the Eagles win by like 14 or the Saints. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be like a nice, solid, like boring game.
I've not been good with picking the Eagles.
Me neither. I've been terrible picking the Eagles.
They're a hard team to pick.
Last week I picked them, but
and yet this was the week I felt confident that they were going to lose. Now that Teron Armstead, the tackle for the Saints, and Ryan Ramczyk are out, I feel less confident, but I still like the Saints. Like, we all like different things. I like run-stopping defensive ends who just are mean and push the guy in front of them backwards because they're just strong. Marcus Davenport is strong. Cameron Jordan is as good as any. Like, Hawk likes undersized receivers.
Yes, I do.
Cynthia likes interior offensive linemen. Rachel.
Do I like
Baker Mayfield, weirdly. This Saints defense, though, is resourceful. And if you look at what the Eagles have done on the ground, it's all been against sorry rush defenses. Chargers, Lions, Broncos. 3 of the very worst in a row, and now you got to play the Saints. That's tough.
Okay.
I am going Saints as well. I'm a little disappointed that you're not on the Eagles. I feel like every single week you keep on convincing yourself to pick Philly, and
I'm usually wrong, so I'm flipping it.
I like that. Yeah,
No, I'm with you this time.
I like the Saints defense. I feel like that interception getting called back against Ryan Tannehill really changed that game last weekend. They kept it close. Sean Payton just keeps on finding a way. Whether he's down Alvin Kamara or out a quarterback, he just keeps on finding a way. And that is why I picked him as my coach of the year, early pick. All right, the AFC North is wide open, like painfully so. And the Bengals could start to take charge this weekend. Or will the Raiders finally bounce back after a rough couple weeks, Cynthia?
I have the Bengals bouncing back. I have a 2-point win, 25-23 in this matchup. I told you I liked Joe Burrow before, but I'm going to break this down a little bit more because I was actually very mean to their O-line ahead of the season. I called them the worst O-line in football. Turns out they're not the worst O-line in football. They're they're about average or a little bit, maybe slightly below average, but it doesn't matter because Joe Burrow is able to create opportunities even though he is under pressure quite a bit. He's really taken a huge step forward from last year when he was good, then got hurt, and then the beginning of the season, he's starting to find ways. And I understand we saw some weird stuff against the Jets, but I think we see that's Jamar Chase. He was running across. I think that connection reignites in this matchup.
Greg, what do you think?
I have the Raiders winning this game. Both these teams are so desperate. They need this win. They're falling apart. But when I look at the Bengals defense over the last couple weeks, I think about some of the biggest stories in the NFL. Mike White, remember him? It's like, wow, this guy could be great. Oh, yeah, it was actually because he just played the Bengals and put up a 40 spot. And then everyone was like, oh, yeah, Baker Mayfield. Like, he doesn't need OBJ. He's amazing. He put up a 40 spot. What happened? That was against the Bengals. So now they're playing a really good quarterback in Derek Carr. I don't trust this Bengals defense. I give the Raiders just a little bit of an edge.
I just had the evilest thing that Cynthia's ever done when the Browns are mentioned. She goes, ha, ha, ha. And looked right into my soul.
No, we all picked the Browns in that one.
I know. What do you like in this one?
I got the Bengals to win here, 30-27. I'm with Cynthia, which makes me feel really good. I think they get the run game going this week. Now, we all got like really hyped about the Bengals a couple weeks ago, like, man, they're actually good. And then they go on a 2-game skid, and in those 2 losses against the Jets and the Browns, they had trouble getting the run game going. And the best thing you can give to a quarterback, I don't care how good he is or cool he is, and Joe Burrow, is a good run game. Keep the Raiders offense off the field, control the clock, and exploit the part of the Raiders defense that isn't very good, and that's against the run.
I'm with Greg, and I just kind of feel okay about it. I'm picking the Raiders 31-24. You glossed over that Jets loss, but what we just saw from Mike White this past weekend, this defense let him put up not 1, but 2, 3 touchdowns against the Bengals defense. That is
okay. The Raiders lost to the Giants. Like, are we going to say that? Then?
Let me have my point, Cynthia. Don't ruin it yet. I'm not done. No, I pretty much am done. I also think that, the Raiders have been through so much. Inevitably, that is going to, really bring together a locker room. And I don't think a lot of people are talking about that, so.
If anyone's like, I definitely know what's going to happen in Bengals Raiders.
No,
messy.
I feel very messy written all over it.
Yes.
Desperado. Okay, despite the goose egg last weekend, we know Russ has still been doing his weird role-playing warm-ups in his backyard all weekend. Kyler Murray is still questionable. Is this a nice bounce-back spot for the Hawks? Greg?
I don't think it is. Okay. I think it's going to be Kyler Murray. I love what this Cardinals team has done on the road. If Kyler Murray plays in this game, and I expect him to, I think they're going to roll. And I think you look at what the Seahawks have done lately, and you have to question their offense. DK Metcalf talking about Russell Wilson, or talking about their offense in general, saying, we're not getting the playmakers the ball, and that's a problem. And you look at Russell Wilson coming off what I thought was the worst game of his career, very slow to make decisions. I almost kind of looked into what DK was saying about Geno Smith putting the ball where he really liked it. I was like, what is going on here in Seattle? I'm telling you, people trust in this Cardinals defense. So they have laid it on teams when they've been on the road, winning by about 20 points a game.
I'm going with the upset, Rachel. 17-14 Seahawks. All right, I'm not giving up on Russ the way that Greg is over here, because he's going to get back to doing what they do best, which is playing to their strengths, getting the ball in the hands of DK Metcalf, in the hands of Tyler
scoring 17 points.
They have 9 combined catches.
Is he going to come out, get kicked out of the game, then come back in the huddle?
Maybe. They have 9 combined catches. In 1 week, that would be terrible. Over 2, it's really bad. But give Russ a chance to get back acclimated. The defense for the Packers was a lot better than the invisible defense that he was playing in pregame. Can he get a game to get things right?
We didn't think about that.
That point would be felt more if you had them scoring more than 17 points. You're like, oh yeah, the Russ is back. 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
I don't expect Kyler Murray to play, unlike you. So that's also a little asterisk. That's a big part.
A little
asterisk, big part.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going with that Kyler Murray is playing, and I have 25-21. So even more points than you have.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I have the Cardinals winning in this one. And James Conner's going to be a big factor. Why? Because if Kyler Murray plays, and I, like Greg and Hawk, I expect him to play, unlike Hawk.
Yeah.
So when he is playing, I don't think they're going to want him to get banged up. What do you do if you want to protect your quarterback a little bit more? You create really smart run games or really smart usage from James Conner. Expect him to have a heavy role. There's some other injuries to their backfield, too. So for me in this one, James Conner is going to make the difference.
All right, Hawk, you are officially flying solo because I am on the
Hawk
Cards.
and a Hawk.
31-17. Cynthia, you always talk about recency bias, but I feel like this recency bias weighs a lot. This was such a bad game. Pete Carroll threw his gum on the sideline a couple of weeks ago, okay? Now he's just tossing out his phone because he's all over the map. DK Metcalf is having a meltdown. I mean, this, recency bias aside, this has got to weigh a little bit more than your average loss.
Yeah, it's because it's absolutely the most important position in all of football, right? So your quarterback not being completely right, especially with that O-line and Chris Carson's now not coming back, that's problematic.
That's going to be tough.
Couple lone Hawks here this week.
Lone
Hawks. I like it. This is where it falls apart.
Time for survival events. Okay, Cynthia ran 300,000 simulations, and these are her top 5 outright winners.
Bragging.
For week 11, you got the Titans over the Texans, Browns over Lions. Thank you so much. What do you like the most here?
I think I'm going to talk about San Francisco in this one over the Jaguars. Why? Because this gets them back to 500, and this also is an opportunity for them to really start making a playoff push. Ahead of the season, I liked them to make the playoffs. I still think this is maybe it's the second most competitive division in all football. So I think it's, an interesting one for him. And they've obviously got their run game down. I don't think Elijah Mitchell is going to play. He's still, questionable. I think it's a game time decision at this point. So it would be someone else, though, if it's not him. That running the rock. Doesn't matter who.
Somebody's running it.
All right, so those are Cynthia's teams. Greg, who is a sneaky good team to use in Survivor this week?
I really love that 49ers pick, too. But if you want to get, a little sneakier, how about the Dolphins? Do you feel a little dead inside and you need something to just wake you up?
Joe Flacco?
Let's go,
really?
Dolphins. I really believe in this defense that Brian Flores has that the last 3 weeks made Josh Allen look really bad.
Hey, where did Brian Flores go to school?
Boston College.
Oh my.
That's right. Thank you. My bad, Greg. Go ahead, continue.
It's all about
Cynthia this week.
Also, another good reason why you take the Dolphins this week. They're playing the Jets.
That's
You could have just started it and ended with
I'm
that.
going to write that down.
You could have just said that. All right, next on Game Day View, we have got more picks, including Cam versus Ron Rivera and our favorite pairings of the week. Stick around. Should be good.
It's as good as it gets when you have Cam Newton back to handle this goal line package. Newton takes the snap, and he is in for a Panthers touchdown.
First play, a touchdown.
Yes, he is.
Oh my goodness, we've heard that so many times this week. Time for quick picks, starting in Carolina, where Cam Newton hosts his old coach and the Washington football team. We've all got the Panthers by more than 3 here. Hawk, expectations for Cam this week?
No expectations for Cam. He was on the couch 2 weeks ago.
Eating cereal.
Relax, have fun out there, man. Someone asked, does this make the Carolina Panthers a contender? It better not, otherwise you should have signed them beginning of the year. Have fun, Cam. No expectations.
Disrespectful that Cam Newton's, revenge game against Ron Rivera got stuck in the quick picks.
Yeah.
A little much.
Washington football team looked great last week in their defense against the Bucs.
Unfortunately, no more Chase Young.
Oh, yeah, that's true. AFC East rivals meet in Jersey as the Flacco-led Jets play host to the Dolphins. We're all on Miami. Cynthia, why do you have this one so close?
Well, the way that models work and projections are, you take the numbers, you look at the difference, then you add them together. So this is under the total, and it is over the difference. So
You
that's
heard
how
of
that
math?
works
And yeah,
out.
but it's very close. It's almost right on the number and right at
That's
the
because I'm good at making the model.
My notes for this game literally say Jets are very bad. Sorry, is what I also
Joe
say.
Flacco,
Look,
he's back.
If they blitz Tua, it's going to be blitzing Tua was where he had a lot of troubles. So that could be one way.
They said they're playing Flacco because he has experience against this type
Reading
of
this
defense.
defense.
They were shut out last year against the Dolphins with Joe Flacco
But
as the quarterback.
He's 6-1 against them overall against
Just
Miami
saying.
in his career.
Sorry.
Frank Reich
That's
back
true.
in Buffalo with his Colts team, and man, the man loves Carson Wentz, is what I learned from Hard Knocks. All of us are threading the needle. Greg, why are you?
Ooh, because I like this Colts defense. I like Jonathan Taylor, and yet I like Carson Wentz to kind of make that one mistake at the end of the game that doesn't win the game. But they're a good
I like
team.
all those.
Touchdown, that's a big number.
Rachel's trying to
gonna be
take
really
Jonathan
close.
Taylor down.
Wait, this is a
I'm
meme
not, I
alert,
just-
thread the needle. Is that like a double? Like it's all of us,
Jonathan
and we're all
Taylor.
threading that
Multiple
needle?
Mean alert.
All
Thread
right,
the needle.
yeah, got it.
That's
Nice.
so cool. Graphics team. Good job, graphics team.
Ravens in Chicago taking on the Bears. Lamar back at practice today, apparently feeling great, and we are all on Baltimore. But Cynthia less than 5.5. How come?
Well, depending on what the final injury report is, because right now it seems like every single Chicago Bear is on it.
Khalil Mack's out. We know
Well, we
that.
already knew Khalil.
Done for
That
the
one was already
season.
factored in, but like there's like 4 or 5 others that are kind of a big deal, like Akeem Hicks and Eddie Jackson. But when I look at this one, it would be that Justin Fields could have a nice outing because I do think he's getting better every single game. So don't discount Justin
We
Fields.
want
That's who I
good
have.
things for Justin Fields.
We
on
want
this
good
show.
things for him.
We
so.
do. John,
I mean,
he's
Hawk
gonna
is,
know.
Listen,
Hawk
he's
is
gonna
his
get-
mentor, so
I'm
it's
his therapist.
He's going to kick the Lions bum on Thanksgiving.
There you go.
So there we go.
You have that
got
to look forward to. All right, it's time for Perfect Pair, ignited by Smirnoff Vodka number 21. We're talking some games that are expected to be lopsided and giving you something else to also keep you interested in that same game. Hawk, start us off.
This is really
I
good
know
music.
this-
I just want to.
Lounge music.
All right.
Yeah.
I have the Buccaneers beating the Giants by more than 10.5 points, and I also have Tom Brady, who's a pissed off Tom Brady because he did not play well a week. I have him throwing for more than 294.5 yards. He's going to go off through the roof to the moon.
I thought you were going to say 4 more picks.
4 more.
I like the Giants in this game.
What?
Whoa, wait, really?
They win. I do. I definitely.
You think that they win?
I think they could.
Oh my goodness. Then the Bucs are really in trouble. Yikes.
Yeah.
I like this lounge music. I'm like really
lovely.
digging it. I have the Titans defeating the Texans by more than 10 points. And I can't keep doing it. And A.J. Brown's going to have 177.5 receiving yards, which kind of seems counterintuitive because usually big wins don't mean tons of receiving yards for receivers because you don't throw late in the game, but it's play action. And I think A.J. Brown's going to get that action because there's no Julio Jones.
You're talking
and there's no
very
Greg Swain.
slowly.
I'm trying to like
What's
match the
that weird
vibe, the
saying
lounge
about
vibe.
playing the piano, tickling the...
Tickling the eye.
Ivories. That sounds weird. No.
No thanks.
Don't tickle.
Oh my God.
You made it weirder.
I'm going to
The
go
way
with
you said tickle.
the 49ers. Not only do they cover this spread, but George Kittle goes over 62 yards. You know what? Like, George Kittle is the last guy you should be using a relaxed voice to. He's going to run over people. I don't care. Like, yeah, give me some, like, guitar riffs
Metal.
or something. He looked so good last week. In the
Yeah, he
middle of that
did.
Jaguars defense is rough.
He's
That's
back,
where
baby.
Jimmy Garoppolo loves to go on third down. I think he goes up and down the field.
I love it. All right, no surprise by my perfect pair. Browns beat the Lions by more than 11.5. Please, God, do this.
Where's your soft
Oh,
jazz
listen, you
seductive
know,
voice like the rest
Please,
of us?
God, win this
Tim
game, or else
Boyle.
I'm gonna cry myself to sleep that night. And I'm so sorry. I feel really mean doing this, but Tim Boyle, more than 1.5
Oh.
interceptions. Apparently, he threw a bunch of picks in his college career. Has not played in a really long time. Browns defense, please step up.
The
got
only
Boyle
this is
tape.
Boyle footage.
Look at this.
Listen,
Wow.
the only thing that could get you on
Boyle
that is they could
rules.
put David Blau in before he has a chance to throw that second interception. That's the
Oh.
only thing that could get you.
Since we don't have a pre-Thanksgiving show, I just wanted you to know Tim Boyle is going to win Thanksgiving.
No,
it's
he's
going to
not.
be a moment.
No, he's not.
It's going to be a moment.
I want the
No,
Lions
he's
to get
not.
a win, just not this one. That was perfect pair, ignited by
Panthers not
Smirnoff Vodka
lost.
number 21. Try Smirnoff's Hail Mary Bloody Mary for a delicious and classic cocktail while home gating. Please drink responsibly. All right, next on Game Day View, we are predicting point totals for some of the biggest games of the week, including Cowboys-Chiefs. We back after this timeout. Make every NFL moment more with Fanduel Sportsbook. This week, Fanduel has a cannot-miss offer for new customers. Get 30-1 odds on either the Cardinals or Seahawks to win. Just bet $5 to win $150 on either team.
Man, look around. Look at the energy. It's down on this team. Punch him in the mouth early and often. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
Going deep down the right sideline. Michael Pittman is there. He's got it into the end zone.
He's trying to get out of trouble. Breaks out of a tackle left. End zone touchdown.
Zone. Oh, what a grab. Touchdown. Brady throws the ball deep. Down there. He got a wide open receiver. Touchdown, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Floating it for Green with the catch.
Deep ball and
Somehow they blew the coverage. It's born to the end zone.
All right, it's time for Predict the Points presented by Fanduel Sportsbook. Let's start with Cowboys-Chiefs, which we are all hoping is amazing, but every single game that we hope is amazing this year is not. So what do we like? More or less than 56 total points.
Such a downer.
Oh, Cynthia, what are you doing?
It's like, hey, the two greatest quarterbacks, young quarterbacks in the league. And
Yeah, but this has happened a bunch this year.
What do you want me to do? You want me to start making
Why?
things up?
Tell us why.
I want you to adjust the model for fun when the Chiefs and the Cowboys play. This is like one
Yeah,
of the
is
best
there
matchups.
one factor that goes into the
Don't you like defense?
No.
What, are
Not
you
that much.
anti-defense?
No, not that
Yes,
much.
I am.
Okay, fine. Whatever.
Like the quarterback.
Is there a fun factor that ever goes into the algorithm?
No.
No.
I mean, there's a little bit of momentum, though. Some people don't think that's real.
For vacation.
The model doesn't take vacation.
I want to get to know the model. I've got some words.
Yeah.
Steelers, Chargers, 46.5 total points. Ooh, defense. Why are you on less?
Well, Steelers kind of goes without saying. Doesn't really matter who's the quarterback. But Chargers on offense, there's something about when Mike Tomlin thinks everyone's against him, and he had that look in his eye this week because everyone's been talking trash after that line. He spoke for 18 straight minutes without uninterrupted at his press conference, and I was like, ooh, they're going to show up. I know their players aren't there, but they're going to show up and at least keep it low.
Sometimes I don't think he blinks either. This one changed. Initially, it was I had the line moved. So I used to be over, and then
Okay. All right.
it's not my fault. It's not fun.
All right, Packers, Vikings, 47-point total. I'm going less.
Why are you going less?
I'm going less. I really feel like the Packers defense looked great last week, and also the Packers aren't putting up a ton of points.
Does this count as a lone bone? If you're
Don't say that on this show.
Don't say it
You said it once, and that was enough.
Lonetta.
Why are you going more?
Because the Packers and Aaron Rodgers are going to put it together. They also had the same thing I gave Russell Wilson, which is I give Aaron Rodgers one more game to
work it out.
Right?
Climate-controlled conditions, that's good for offense.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. All right, Saints and Eagles is 43.5 points. Pretty low. I'm going more. Greg, you're going less. How come?
I love this Saints defense. I think they might be the best in the league right now, they're going to stop the run. And you're just not going to score that many points if you're the Saints without your top two tackles, Trevor Simeon at quarterback, no Kamara. So it's got to be a defensive win if they get it, and that's what I got.
Really out on the Eagles these days, huh? Why do you think more?
I don't think the Saints' secondary is as good as the front seven.
That's
so
fair.
I think that's going to create some opportunities for the Panthers. And Trevor Simeon, like you said, he said he's way better than Jameis Winston. So.
I didn't say that. I said through 2 games, it hasn't been a downgrade. Does the model agree? Doesn't the model agree?
Simeon's been fine.
Simeon's been fine. It's really been problematic to not have Alvin Kamara.
That's the bigger
That's a little bit of an
That's a
issue.
bigger
You know.
Okay, possibly the messiest game that we will see. Bengals Raiders, 50.5 points. I'm going more. Bring on the mess, baby. Bring it on. Just let it all loose. Cynthia, why are you less?
I think that we do see the Raiders defensive front step up. I told you, this is the type of game where either it's going to be a huge margin or very close because of the way that they play a high risk, high reward offense with the Raiders. And I think that the Bengals actually have that too with those deep passes. So I think it's going to ultimately end up being a little bit more of a defensive struggle.
You're kind of covered either way,
I'm not covered either way.
It's either going to be close or it's going to be a blowout.
I mean, it's either going to be huge or it's going to be because of the way they play that
It's going to be Bengals Mike White or
3 bad Joe
Why do you
Burrow games in a row.
Now I feel bad.
I don't see it happening.
It's okay. We're just mean to each other here.
all right, Cardinals Seahawks, 47.5 points. I'm going
Low.
more.
Ooh, why are you
We have a
more?
Lonetta.
I don't think
Another
that Russell
lone bone.
Wilson is going to be as terrible. I think he's going to try and get it together. And I'm hoping that Kyler Murray plays, and I hope he balls out.
Seahawks have been pretty good defensively the last month. Like, they have gotten it together. If Russell Wilson and the offense improves, this could be a good team. But both these defenses, I think, are underrated. So I like being on this side.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. When it comes to betting, it pays to have a solid game plan. To learn more about responsible betting, visit responsibleplay.org. All right, next on Game Day View, we are closing up shop with some of our favorite picks from Week 11. They're already ready. Write this down. It is after the break. Woo! So sorry. We should get those.
Yeah, somebody should have screwed.
What's up, man? How you doing? It's game day, baby. Understand this. Everything that we do is bigger than just us. You fight, you claw. Everybody, all you do is look up. Ain't no better time to do it right now. I'm ready to go. I don't want to move. I don't want to play. All right, boys, let's go. Let's go. Mom and Dad, I love you. Hold it down. We're gonna have a day, bro. Stop the run, we'll have a day.
Consistency, getting ahead, convert the opportunities.
Let's go, bro. Let's go. Nothing's been given. Take everything tonight. Let's go out there and dominate. Make them quit. We got the whole world watching now. Finally on point.
Ooh, the whole world is watching. Back on Game Day View, it is time for Drive to Excellence, presented by Mercedes EQ. Let's recap our biggest picks of Week 11. We are split on Cowboys. Chiefs. Cynthia, why do you like KC by 3 or all of a sudden believing?
Well, some missing pieces in the Cowboys offense, namely Amari Cooper and the potential to no Tyron Smith, and an improved Chiefs defense is a disadvantage compared to the Chiefs offense, which is surging, and they're finally using their running backs. I think this is going to be an opportunity for the Chiefs to take a big step forward to the playoff push.
Greg and I are outsold.
Yeah, like,
we need a couple more
like
games.
Translation for Twitter, like, she's a Cowboys hater. That's basically
hates
what
Dallas.
Yep.
Here in LA, we are all on the Chargers over the Steelers, but Greg is threading the needle by saying it's not going to be more than 5.5 points.
Yeah, I think this Chargers offense has not been aggressive enough to take advantage of all the injuries that Pittsburgh has right now. And there is something about this Steelers team under Mike Tomlin. They step up when you do not expect it. So I think they're competitive at the very least. Plus, I'm going to this game. I want it to be close.
Oh, that's
why
that? This is happening.
Yeah.
We want some special seats. And in Vegas, Hawk and Cynthia have the Bengals winning on the road. Hawk, how does Cincy take down the Raiders?
The last 2 weeks in their losses, they were unable to get the run game going early. This week they do with Joe Mixon. They control the clock and they exploit the part of the Raiders defense that is bad, which is the run defense. Bengals get it back going, and Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon
all of the Joes
both fall out. All the Joes. What is it? Triple J's is what you call
Triple
it?
J's.
Hashtag Triple J's.
I hope Joey franchise goes off, but I still like the Raiders here. All right, time for write this down. Grab your pen, grab your piece of paper, or your phone, which also works. My write this down, the thing that I'm feeling really good about. I'm so sorry to do this to you, Mr. Tom Brady, but hello, the past few weeks have not been great for you in the interception department. I am going Tom Brady will have more than a half of an interception versus the Giants.
More than a half.
Okay.
He might ball out, guys, but there's going to be a moment where it's like, whoa, what's wrong with
You watched Man in the Arena this week, and then you're going to come over here and make that prediction?
Patrick Graham, their
that's
coordinator, came from that Brian Flores scheme. Who knows how to cook up Brady a little bit?
Tommy.
I can see it.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. Am I up? Is that what everyone's looking at me?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
Let's
well,
write this down.
I'm going to go for over 600 yards passing combined between Dak Prescott and Patrick Mahomes.
This.
I say they light it up. We're for fun. I don't give a dang what the model says.
Ooh.
Yards and points, baby.
Boo,
The
defense.
model has over 600 passing
Oh, okay.
yards.
I don't know. It was an unnecessary shot at the model. I love the model.
This is fun.
It
I
beats
really
my-
like this.
You know,
This is
it
something
beats
we
my
can
butt
all
every
root
year.
for.
Write this down. It's always great when your coworkers insult maybe 10 years of your hard work. Wonderful feeling.
my
But you know what? You're right.
Insult.
I like Patrick
competition.
Mahomes. I like Patrick Mahomes to have less than 19.5 rushing yards. Why? Look at the past 3 games. What have they done? They put the R back in the RPO. So he's been
I like
handing the
that.
ball off. Why? Getting those running backs involved has kept him out of harm's way. No more interceptions, or fewer interceptions, I should actually say, over the past 3. And that's because he's stopped trying to do everything himself.
There you go.
Love it.
Spread the wealth.
Love that one. You know how you hear, like, if people show you who they are, believe them? Like,
Yeah,
if teams show you
that's what I feel today.
who they are,
Looking at
believe
you.
them. The Cardinals have gone on the road and destroyed good team after good team. The 49ers they beat, the Rams, the Titans, all by more than 20. The Seahawks offense is struggling week after week. I believe them. Like, I believe the Cardinals are one of the best teams in the league, and they rolled this week in Seattle.
Do you guys think we're going to see like a more amped up Russell Wilson in the pregame? Like, is it going to be like just the most wild we've seen him yet? I really hope so.
Can it get more?
I believe it can, actually.
Excellent.
The model has
believe-
embarrassed me for years now, and you've never come
right.
to my defense.
Enjoy the games this weekend. We will see you next week for week 12.
Hawk tried to save himself there.